Hello, family. I'm James Hadnot. With me is the former Nebraska Cornhusker, John Kelly. Laurencia Moden will join us in a moment. These two schools go way back, all the way back to 1923 when they had their first meeting. And, John, this rivalry is renewed today in the Big Apple.
Howard up big on top of Hampton, 27-0. Want to welcome you inside the booth. I'm James Hadnot. This is Steve Weish, and with us is the president of the Baltimore Ravens, a trustee at Hampton, Sashi Brown. Thank you so much for joining us.
On play action, Proctor is the intended target, and another snag as he's still running. Oh, DeAndre Proctor into the end zone. Biggie, biggie, biggie. Can't you see? Sometimes your play hypnotizes the D. 2 first downs picked up on this drive for the Bulldogs. Isaiah Nokenkyu comes in at running back. Jordan Chambers-Smith goes in motion. On the orbit motion, they throw back to Chambers-Smith, and Davion Walker is wide open. The trick play, run to perfection. Touchdown, Alabama A&M. Marcus Harris, the second, goes in untouched. A 3rd touchdown of the day. Count him out, young man. And Alabama State puts that nail in the coffin. They lead 34-6. Clean snap to him, and it blocked! Wow. Grambling State blocks the bunt, and will have the ball inside the 10 with a chance to score before half. Wow! 93 yards on the ground for Grambling. Trey Bradford, the leader in the clubhouse, with 54. But Andre Cruz has picked up back-to-back first downs for Grambling. He's the running back in right now beside Zay T-Set. 4th quarter starts now. Grambling trying to take down the reigning SWAC champions. T-Set keeps it himself. And Zay T-Set is brought down on the outside. Tackle made by Shamar Hawkins, the senior from Chicago, Illinois.
Well, this defense knows this game is far from over. It's a 1-score ball game. They know if they can start to really bow up. T.C. Taylor said, we've got to make some stops. If they can start doing that, they know they're still in this ball game, but they're going to have to do a lot of work because, again, 2 young quarterbacks, they're the ones trying to run the offense in place of Jacoby and Morgan, so they need as much help as they get from their D side of the ball.
2 tight ends on the left side of the line. Grambling has scored 16 unanswered points as we start this 4th.
Mental mistakes, man.
2nd down and 8 will turn to 2nd down and 13 after this 5-yard penalty. Movement.
False start offense. Number 52. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
So Aaron Mahoney Dean, the guilty party.
Yeah, just getting anxious, and I can tell you, when they feel this right now, things start to bubble up. You know you're in position to try and knock these brothers off. You start getting excited, but that's when you got to take that deep breath. Keep yourself in that zen mode because mistakes like that can kill. Let your game take over. Use what you know and play very, very smart.
At the Jackson State 48. T-Set hands off to Cruz, and he gets back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down and 10 for Grambling.
Well, James, again, Jackson State at a disadvantage without their star QB1, Jacoby and Morgan, but we do know this team understands how to play from behind. They did it, as we've talked about, against Alabama State. Huge victory there that they did. They need some more of that magic right now, right here.
On 3rd down, T-Set, excellent ball handling, finds Cruz, and Cruz picks up a first down.
Excellent job. The world collapsing around Xavier T-Set. Watch him here. There's bodies everywhere. His guys are faking the handoff, spinning, coming over here. Left-handed. Watch the touch. That's nice. Gets it out to his guy. Andre Cruz doing a good job here, slipping that tackle, stumbles forward, almost stayed on his feet for a bigger chunk, but that's huge. They needed that first down.
A 17-yard pickup, and this coaching staff of Chiron Carey, the offensive coordinator, along with Mickey Joseph, they kind of trade off who calls the plays. As Trey Bradford takes it towards the 25, stopped at the 26. But Coach Joseph and Coach Carey have that connection. They've known each other for so long. Coach Carey, the best friend of Coach Joseph's younger brother Sammy, and they're of one mind. And when you are of one mind, you have play calls like that at the exact right time.
Yeah, and this is when it's almost like, James, when you're out there on the basketball court raining down three-pointers and they just start falling in like you're throwing them in the ocean. You start getting that thing, that momentum, that mindset. We can make things happen. This Grambling State offense, you pointed out, 16 unanswered points. They're rolling.
T-set to throw.
Got him.
Catch is made. Andrew Frazier, like he just left the barber. A perfect fade. Touchdown, Grambling State.
Man, I tell you, this team is locked and loaded, hitting on all cylinders. A cat who hasn't even been heard from today. Look at him. Perfect pass by T-set. The rainbow drops in the bucket. Mr. Frazier stepping up. You know his mama's proud on that one. What a ball game, James. What a game plan by Grambling State.
GSU in front by 12, pending this extra point.
G-Men absolutely in the house here in Vegas.
Whistles blow and a timeout.
Timeout. Jackson State, the first of the half. 30-second timeout.
So Jackson State takes the timeout. GSU, a 7-play, 68-yard drive. 4:14 took off the clock, and Andrew Frazier tracked that ball perfectly. Touchdown. And so Texas Southern, who's backed up, has the heavy package in. And they go to the ground. A couple yards picked up after the huge hit in the hole. And for TSU, one thing they want to do now is not make a mistake, right? Yeah. They have the lead, they have the momentum, and they have to really get out of the shot of their own end zone.
Yeah, and they want to make sure that they can get a first down, give the punter some room to punt if they don't, gain a first down. And Alabama A&M wants just the opposite. An incomplete pass here, a short gain on third down, and forcing Texas Southern to punt out of the own end zone.
Davis goes to the fullback, and Stephen Smith, the offensive coordinator, goes into his bag. A beautiful play call to pick up that first down.
And that was the first play pass to the fullback. Normally it's your halfback or your receivers or the tight end. A little bit of trickery. They executed to perfection. Jordan Davis, this kid is poise personified.
And also the belief that Coach Smith has in his backup to be able to execute in these moments. Now Washington, a spin past the 30. He stopped around the 31. And this is a gut check right now for Alabama A&M. They were in good defensive position, but TSU looking good, about to potentially pick up a second first down on this drive.
Absolutely, and it's running back by committee. The offensive line now, they realize that they can tee off on this defensive front, and they can open some holes, and they've got fresh legs in the backfield with this running back by committee, and they're almost, I tell you what, they are running everything in their playbook. Sometimes when you have a secondary quarterback in, you limit your offensive plays. But I guarantee you, they're running everything in the book right now with this young Jordan Davis.
And they're running this Alabama A&M Bulldogs defense into the ground. 198 rushing yards for TSU. And Jacob Washington with a great gain here to pick up the first.
That's a big first down. Offensive line does their job. Even though they make the tackle, it's across the line to gain, so another first down for Texas Southern.
Washington spins out of a tackle, but he is met by Robert Iverson and company. So a pickup of 1 on the play, second down and 9 for TSU. As clock runs under 3 minutes on this snap in this third quarter. Texas Southern had the field goal. Those are the only points scored in this third. Defensively, the Tigers have held Alabama A&M scoreless in the quarter, and that's complimentary football. It's two tight ends. Shift on play action. Davis finds one of those two tight ends. Jalen Williams sliding to the grass.
This
makes the
kid
catch.
is special. Picks up another first down. The future is so bright for that quarterback room of Texas Southern, regardless to who comes back or who's in there. Jordan Davis, you done well, son.
Jacob Washington continues to be the feature back on this drive. Takes the ball into plus territory, stopped at the 47. And for Washington, he's a junior from Pearland, about 45 minutes away. Went to Shadow Creek High School, where he was second team all-district.
So the kid can play. He understands the game. He understands the position of quarterback. It helps when you don't have to shift a guy in or move a guy in who hasn't played quarterback his entire young life. But you can tell that this kid has been taught and has been coached extremely well.
On second down, pressure is picked up, and Davis has some wheels, showcases them, and then a nice little slip by Davis to pick up the first down. And when you're feeling yourself,
yes,
you play at a high level, and it's obvious for Jordan Davis.
Yeah, looks at the protection breaks down. He's got a lot of room to the right. I would prefer that you would step out of bounds instead of taking shots like this from behind. But again, he has proven that he is durable. Coaches always talk about durability. Everybody's going to get banged up during this game of football. But if you're not durable, Bud Grant used to say all the time, I can get anybody and put them in a uniform. But if you're not durable, that means that I can't trust you. If you're not on the field, you do me no service at all.
So a timeout was taken by Texas Southern. Obviously, with kicking, that's very important. We've seen a couple of field goals. We've seen the extra point. And I wanted to ask you, as a former kicker, which one did you like better? Which one were you better at?
Well, I was better at both of them, but I love to place kick because that put points on the board.
Absolutely.
I mean, you could, the balance of the game is on your foot. I love that challenge. I love that responsibility, but I never got a chance to kick in the NFL. I was always a backup place kicker, but I thought I was a better kicker than punter. My longest field goal was 53 yards at FAMU.
Talk about it.
Yeah, and
you talk about kicking, but wanted to ask, did you ever have a tackle like this, Greg Coleman?
Well, I had one or two, okay? But punting to Greg Pruitt, who was playing for the Cleveland Browns at that time. I was with Minnesota. He broke through, and I was the only thing between he and pay dirt. They never scored.
Yeah, talk about it. He didn't get there, did he? And Kelvin Durham, he is the leader of this team, undeniably. Sometimes when they're not playing well in practice, he'll tell the entire team we have to run sprints after practice. He has them do up downs in the middle of practice if they're not playing to the level they need to, and that just showcases who he is as a competitor and a leader. Heavy formation again. Marcus Harris puts his head down, and he will not be denied a second touchdown on the day.
I'll tell you, Marcus Harris, 5'9", 240 pounds. He's like a fire hydrant, trying to tackle a fire hydrant out here with his speed, his power, and his awesome tenacity. You're not going to stop him short yardage probably 9 times out of 10.
Coaching staff talk about his unselfishness. When you have guys like Jamari Holtzclaw and Jabari Kirkendall, he's the guy that can get lost in the fray. He was a preseason second-team All-SWAC accolade holder from last year. But with Daquan Kinsey coming, Holtzclaw coming on, he took a back seat. But today, he's in the driver's seat. His second rushing touchdown today. Marcus Harris the second, a bulldozer. And Alabama State in front by 3 scores.